Hi, this is Holly Pappas, the instructor of this English 101 course that's starting this summer. I wanted to take a few minutes to show you around our course space, especially for those of you who may not be too familiar with blogs. Um, I have one of the things I'll ask you to read for this week is a post that I did that explains why I'm using blogs instead of e-learning. But to get to the blog, um, all you need to do is open up a browser and type this URL, visionarywomen.edublogs.org. Note the women with the plural here, edublogs and org instead of .com. There is a link to the blog on eLearning, but you don't need to go through eLearning to get to the course blog. There's no um, the blog is not sitting in e-learning, it's outside in cyberspace. um, E-learning, the only reason you'll need to go to e-learning is if you want to check your grades for the course. I will use e-learning to post the grades, but most of our work will be done on the course blog and on individual blogs that you'll be setting up this week. So a blog, this blog anyway, has three main sections. The main part of the blog um, down here is a series of posts that are arranged chronologically with the most recent stuff at the top. So if you look at the blog and you've read what's at the top, that means there hasn't been anything new added. Um, I'm going to use this main part of the blog sort of as um, lecture notes and as the place where your assignments will be posted as we move through the course week by week. So you'll need to check the blog. I would strongly encourage you to check it at the beginning of the week to see what the work is like so you can plan your schedule out over the course of the week. I'll try to, our weeks will run from Monday to Sunday with most of your work due Sunday night at midnight. Um, there occasionally may be some due dates in the middle of the week um, for one reason or another in terms of getting feedback, and then you might do something with it. So again, I strongly encourage you to check Monday, sometime during the day Monday, to see the work for the week and then figure out how you're going to be, how you'll do it. So this is where I will be adding assignments every week. So I would get in the habit of certainly checking the blog on Monday, but you may also want to check it throughout the course of the week. I also will add, in addition to assignments, there may be some specific sort of feedback that I want to give. If everybody in the class or many people in the class seem to have a misunderstanding about something, I might do a post about it. If I run across something interesting that connects to what we're talking about or writing about in the course, I may post it here. Um, I may do some further explanation of assignments or um, variety of sort of, as I said, week to week sort of lecture note type material here in the blog. The particular design of this blog just gives you a short little the beginning of the post. It doesn't give you the full post. To access the full post, as it says here, click on the title of this blog post. So if you click right here, it opens up the post so you can see the full post. And this gives you a little bit of an introduction to the course, and it gives you the assignments for this first week. Within these posts, typically there'll be a number of hyperlinks. These hyperlinks may be to something that I'd like you to read, an article, or they may be to something else on the blog. It may take, again, if you're not familiar with blogs, it may take you a little while to sort of get familiar with finding things on the blog. So I don't want you to have to search around to try to find things. So what I'll be giving you are links that will bring you right to where you need to go. So here, for example, I say click on Introduction, and that brings you to a page, Intro, that talks about, it's just an overview of the course and some of the decisions I've made about the design of this course, a little bit of an explanation about this being a theme-based course. So this is one of the things that I ask you to read over this first week. Now, if you're in, this is a page. If you're in a page, to get back to that post that we were at before that had the assignments, what you're going to do is click right here on the title of the blog, and that'll bring you back to the dated posts of the blog. So if you don't see dates here, the dates indicate that it's a post. Without a date, it's a page. The pages are organized. Many of them are up here at the top of the blog. Now, this I said is like assignments and week by week information, lecture note type things. These pages across the top, I think of as a replacement really for a textbook. We do have a book that I'm going to ask you to buy for the course or rent or get through a library. It's on the syllabus here, and while I'm talking about it, let's look here. So it's called Visionary Women, hence the title of the blog. I explain in the introduction a little bit about what it's about. You won't need it this first week. The second week, there's a reading assignment from the book, but I do have, it's a short, I think it's about 15 or 16 pages. I have scanned that in, and I have that available as a PDF, so I'll make that available. But the third week, you'll be starting a fairly sizable reading assignment that you'll need to do from the book. So try to get a hold of it by then. You can get it on Amazon, and there is a Kindle version that's somewhere around $10 or so. So that's all we're going to use in terms of a required paper text, or if you get a Kindle e-text. But there's also a fair number of things that I'd like you to read about the writing process, about the reading process, about researching, the sort of thing that would be in a textbook. They're drop-down menus here. The syllabus note is here. There's a page that I ask you to read about using paper versus screen in terms of reading and writing. And then there's a post about setting up your own blog. So these are all things that I ask you to read for this first week. If I get back to the assignment again by clicking here, and then I'll click here to open it up fully. So I ask you to read the syllabus, the paper versus screen, and setting up your own blog here. So again, rather than expect you to be able to find all these pages, I give hyperlinks here, so that will bring you to the part of the blog that I'd like you to read, then in some cases to things outside the blog. There's so much information available about writing on the internet that I really hate to have students buy a text, composition text. If you're the type of person that really likes to do their reading on paper versus on the screen, there are varieties of writers' manuals that are available at most bookstores in the reference section. If you're a paper person and your college goals are going to require you take a fair number of writing courses, you may want to pick up a writer's handbook that will give you a lot of this information about grammar and about style and about the research process, about formatting papers and that sort of thing. But again, as I say, most all of that information is available on the internet, just a matter of finding a reputable site to use. Okay, so this is like the textbook sort of portion. Again, I will give you links if I'd like you to read any of this. There may be some of this that we don't end up using for the course, so you don't need to work your way through it. Just use these weekly assignments to let you, to tell what you want to read, to tell what your assignments are, what I'd like you to read. Okay, the third part of the blog is referred to often as the sidebar. I have contact information. My email address is here. This I need to change. This was last semester's office hours. I used this blog last semester, as you can see from the date here. I am available. I'll be around most of the summer. I'm going to be away in about 10 days for a little bit. about a week, but I will be reachable by email. But after that, after I get back, I'll be around most of the summer and be happy to meet with people on campus. I'm located sort of intermediate between Fall River and Attleboro, but I'm happy to go to New Bedford if that's closer for you. So if you'd like to meet face to face, I'm happy to do that for online students. This is my campus phone number here. Email is generally the quickest way to reach me, though. The main assignments for the course will be listed here. As I make them over the course of the semester, they'd be listed here as well. But this is I'm just going to collect them up here. There are another two links that I will be adding. One is an annotated bibliography, and then we're going to do a synthesis project that I'm really excited about. That's a new assignment for this summer that I'm going to try out and see how you like. I'll explain a little bit about that as we get a little bit into the course. There's some information here, links to Bristol sources from the library that I'll talk about as we get a little further along. What I'm going to ask you to do for this week, one of the things I'm asking you to do is to set up your own blog for the course. And as you set up your blog, you're going to be emailing me its URL. I think the process is pretty thoroughly explained in this page here about setting up your blog. If you have any problems, don't beat your head against the wall. And if you start getting frustrated, please be in contact with me, and we can either meet to talk face to face, or I can sort of walk you through it over the phone. Or maybe answer questions through email. Once you send me the link to your blog, I'll be adding your name here. So there'll be a list as the URLs come in from all of you in the class. This list will be built out. We now have 22 students registered in the class. So this is one of my students from a previous semester. So generally I use first names in the blogs. If you want me to use some nickname, or you want to use a pseudonym of some sort to disguise yourself from your boss or your prying whoever it is, feel free to, you're welcome to do that. I just want everybody in the class to understand who's who, but we can use fake names here if you'd like to do that. So these will be links that will bring you, if you click on this person's name, brings you to her blog. And you can get a little bit of a sense. We're not using exactly the same assignments that I used last semester, but some of the assignments are the same. And you can get a sense of this sort of work that students are doing in the class. Okay, these are some older blogs, students that either have incompletes pending, or I'm saving for one reason or another. You won't need to, you're welcome to look at those to get an idea of the student work, but you won't need to refer to those. Down here, there's are some links to sites around the internet that give you grammar and research information. These are some of the most useful ones that I've found over the years, and I'll be talking about those or writing about them as we get into the whole process a little bit more. Okay, I think that's about it for the organization of the blog. If you have any questions or any problems as you're trying to set up your blog, again, please let me know. But anyway, I hope to hear from all of you in the next few days. As soon as you get your blog set up, why don't you go ahead and send it in, and then there's some posts that I ask you to do for this week. Again, if you have problems doing posts, let me know, and we'll hopefully get it straightened out. The assignments are, there are several assignments this week, but they're very low stakes. The purpose of them mostly is to get you comfortable with the posting and commenting on the blog. So let me know if you have any problems. There'll be another video coming up momentarily that will explain something about how the flow of information goes in the blog.